Hey everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you're not. So for today's video I'm going to be doing my second brush cleaning chats, where I'm just basically chatting to the camera as I'm cleaning my brushes. So if you have makeup brushes to clean, then pause this video, grab them, and we'll just sit down and chill. So if you haven't seen the first one, I will link it up in the card up here. But basically I decided to film that one kind of because I wouldn't be up to vlogging, I don't think, but I wanted to film something that was just a little bit more non-makeupy, but at the same time, you know, fitted into the makeup world. So just if we sat down, cleaned our brushes together and just chatted about some non-makeup things, because I think it just helps you get to know me a little bit better and my personality and the things I'm into and stuff like that, because I know myself, I love watching YouTubers that I can get to know. So I just have a few makeup brushes to clean from my kit. This is just one face's worth, but then I have a big bunch of my own personal ones to clean, which I don't think I'll get through in this sitting. So yeah, first things first, my hair is different. I got my hair done actually last week now, just over a week ago. I used to get braids all the time when I was younger, braids and cornrows and stuff. I used to go to a lady who had a salon in town, but she's since closed that ages ago and she just does it from her home now. And I hadn't been to her in a few years, and I just really wanted to change up my hair. Do you just get that itch to just do something different? And I just wasn't feeling myself as well in my hair. I don't know if that makes any sense, but... And I think that was because I had let my hair... I'd let my hair go for ages without a trim a few years ago. And then when I went in for a trim, or for a cut, the lady said, like, you need a good few inches off, like you need a bunch of hair off, that it's dead at the ends. And I kind of said, yeah, okay, that's my own fault, you know, go for it, we'll just get it all off in one go. Now, my hair wasn't short by any means, it was still long, it was just short for me because I always have very long hair. So it was just that I took off more than I was hoping for, even though, you know, I expected to take off a good bit. So that was fine, and she did a lovely straight blow dry, and it was lovely. And she'd said, like, really you should be coming back every 3 months or whatever it was for a trim, just to keep it healthy and at least let it grow healthy. So I was like, yeah, definitely I'll do that this time. I won't let it go so long. But of course I let it go even longer. I think it was like a year and a half before 2 years maybe, before I went back for a trim just recently. But the fear in my head is, number one, it's just a fear of losing my hair or just having short hair, because it's just like a safety blanket, just having long hair. But the other thing is that when I get a cut, I would get it cut straight across, just blunt, no layers or anything, because it's really curly and I didn't want it to like jump up and like go crazy out or anything. So I'd get it cut straight across, and when I get it cut I normally get a nice straight blow dry as I'm there, and it'd be lovely when it's straight, it'd be really sleek, really healthy looking at the ends. But then when it's curly, because it was cut so blunt, not up here, like down lower, but because it was cut so blunt, when I had a curly, it would kind of fluff out at the ends, and it just created a different shape. Whereas when after a while it started to get unhealthy, the end started to get, you know, broken and drier or whatever, and it would go into the shape that I like, which would be kind of just thinner ends. So it'd be lovely and long and curly and everything, but the ends would just kind of like waterfall down, they'd just be thinner, and I liked that look, even though, and it was because my hair was unhealthy, but I liked the look when I was curly. So basically I'd get my hair cut, I'd wear it, I'd be able to straighten it all the time, it looked really nice and healthy. And then as it started to get unhealthy, I'd stop straightening it, because then the straight hair would show up, like the dead ends and stuff. And I would just wear curly all the time and be able to get that nice shape. So it's kind of a trade-off of both. And I had just gone so long with unhealthy hair, just wearing it either curly or tying it up. And I really just wanted to be able to have more options other than just up with a bun, which is just so much more convenient, or spend time, put product through it, and have it curly, which would last for a day, maybe two if I'm careful with it and if I put the right products in the next day. And that had just gone on for so long that I just didn't feel confident, because when my hair is straightened down, I don't know, it just gives me more confidence and I just feel, I don't know, nicer or prettier or something. So eventually I did go and get my hair trimmed. I went to a girl that I know who does hair, and I hadn't been to her before to cut my hair, but I felt comfortable with her that I could like explain to her that basically what I wanted to do was try small layers, or some sort of layers where I could maybe get the shape that I want in my curly hair, as well as having healthy hair when it's straight. So I went to her all with the intentions of like having to explain, you know, I don't want to take too much off, even though I know I'd have to. I just want to try small layers and maybe we can and see how it goes or whatever. So I went to her and I booked in for a wash, cut and blow dry, and she was like, right, we're cutting your hair, is it? And I was like, yeah, I haven't gotten cut in ages, just want to trim. And I explained to her the situation with maybe trying some layers because of the shape and all this. I explained all that, and straight away she got it. She was like, yeah, no problem. And what we'll do is just layer it from the front, so that when all my hair is back, it just comes to a V at the back, so it'll give you that kind of graduated ends. But we're not going to layer it all over or bring it up high or anything to make the curls go crazy. So straight away she was on the ball, she knew exactly what I meant. And then, so she discussed that with me, washed the hair, and then when we went to trim it, I was expecting her to go, right, okay, as the last girl had done like a year ago or whatever it was before that, to say, you need a huge amount off, you've left it too long basically. And she was like, straight away, she was like, okay, so how much do you want off? And I was like, oh, and I didn't want to sound stupid and just be like, well, really what I want is like minimal off, whatever. So I was like, you know, maybe this much or whatever. And she was like, okay, well look, maybe we'll do a little bit less than that, to allow it to jump up with the curl, and also to allow us to layer it in. And straight away I was like, felt so much better. I was like, yeah, we'll do less than that. I think I pointed out like, I don't know, that much or something, I can't remember. But anyway, she was like, straight away she was erring on the side of less, which was really what I wanted, but I was too afraid to say that. And so she literally just gave it a trim, and she explained, she said, your hair isn't that bad, but also with curly hair, because it doesn't show, you know, dead ends and stuff, you don't need to be getting it trimmed as often as someone with straight hair, for aesthetic purposes. Like, it's not going to show up. But she said, look, we'll take this much off, we'll blow dry it, layer it, and then see how it looks. If we feel like we still need to take some off, we'll do that, but we didn't. So it was probably the happiest I've ever been with getting my hair cut. Normally it's like, oh god, I feel weird without, you know, all this length of my hair gone, or that something wasn't right, or they didn't blow dry it straight enough. She blow dried it like really sleek and poker straight, because I remember I went to get my hair blow dried, like trimmed and blow dried on my birthday in a different salon. And because I have really curly hair, when I have my hair straight, I wanted poker straight. Like, I wanted like complete opposite, like poker, sleek, super straight. And I remember I went, and I suppose technically it was a straight blow dry because it was straighter than what it was, but it was like, it wasn't sleek. I don't think she went over it with straighteners or anything. And I remember she was like, okay, yeah, we're done. And I was like, looking in the mirror like, oh, okay. And I'm the type of person who's just like, well, you know, I'm Irish, typically Irish, but I'm just like, yeah, thanks, that's lovely. Got into my car and I was like nearly crying. I was like, oh, it's my birthday, blah, blah. Really upset that it wasn't how I wanted, but it was, I just went home, just went over with the straightener, and it just smoothened out really easily. But this time I was actually really happy with it. So kind of the reason I'm talking about it is, well, number one, just to share what's on my mind or what's up with me, but also if you have curly hair and if you have any of the same issues as me, that it might be helpful. So anyway, like it was such a minimal change. It was like a little bit of length off and like really natural layers just at the back, that I'd say no one else would even know. But I was so scared about it that I was like, look, I'll schedule to get it done this week, and the following week I want to get braids. So if I don't like it, you know, I'll be getting my braids in, and I'll get a little bit of growth back into it. So that's how scared I was, to get it cut in case like I really needed loads off and I really hated it, that I could just go straight into braids. So I booked my haircut, and then the week after I booked my braids. And this is the first time in ages that I've gotten braids with no colour in it. I normally get colour in it because I've never coloured my hair, and I don't intend to for the near future anyway. So it's kind of the only opportunity that I can have like colour through my hair. But I really like having it all dark. It just looks more natural, and it's less, because my hair is so dark, I can't do like an ombre effect, because when I was kind of googling images when I was thinking about putting colour through it, I can't have like brown mixed with, like say the grey, brown mixed with grey going into all grey at the ends, because my actual brown hair carries on all the way to the ends, well, nearly to the ends, and this goes down to, can't even see the ends, hang on, to my hips basically, just above my hips. So if I was to get a colour through it, it's mixed all the way through, and sometimes that can just look really busy. So I like that I got it all dark. I hadn't done that in a while. Well, I hadn't gotten braids in a while either. But yeah, that is the big, huge, long story behind my hair. Unnecessarily long. And I didn't even get through that many brushes. I was too busy talking. So I'm just really glad that I have someone now that, because I never like had a hairstylist or a hairdresser. I know most people do. They have someone that they go to for their hair. I never did, because it was just, I was never getting anything special done to my hair. There was never any kind of particular colour that I was dyeing my hair or a style that I wanted. It was just a trim, and while I'm there I'll get a blow dry. But now I'm glad that I actually have someone that I can go to and feel, you know, not only just comfortable but also confident in what they'll do. So I'm really happy with that. What else? I'm going over to my dad's house for dinner tonight. My brother is home from London for the weekend, so looking forward to seeing him. So I must get these cleaned and then fix my face a little bit. I don't look great, well, my face doesn't look great because I've just been kind of working for the day. And I haven't, either my liner or mascara is smudged. So I'll need to fix my face before I go. I probably should have fixed it before I got on camera, but there you go. I've just had a super busy week that I'm just trying to fit in filming where I can. And I sat down yesterday and I planned videos for like the next few months because I can't believe it's September already. It's the 1st of September today, and I was like, okay, if I want to do some Halloween videos, I'll need to be planning them now, definitely, and get filming as soon as I can. So, but then I always do that, and like planning is my thing. I love planning. I'll plan everything down to a T. Executing them, on the other hand, isn't quite my strong suit, but I know I do try, and planning definitely helps that. So we'll see how it goes, but I definitely have, you know, some ideas to have like 2 a week anyway, so 2, 4, 6, 8 videos. I have like a couple Halloweeny scary ones, but then I have a few that are basically fancy dress rather than specific to like scary Halloween, because I don't know, kind of the gory special effects, it's fun to do and it's different, so it's always a nice change when Halloween comes around. Also with freelance that I'm doing Halloween makeup, you know, it's a nice change and it's something different, but really I don't absolutely love working with latex and all that. I think once I get into it though, once I get into the habit of it. I was doing a scare house one year. I was doing makeup for a scare house where I was basically painting up the zombies, me and 2 other artists. We paint up the zombies and the scary people or whatever. And it was every night for the month of October. So by the end of it, it came so naturally and so easy, and we were like switching things up to try new things because it was getting kind of boring at that stage. So once I'd gotten into the swing of it, it wasn't so intimidating, because I think that's the thing as well. It's kind of intimidating to jump into special effects from just beauty makeup. So yeah, I'm trying to fit in some filming this week so that I want to try and get ahead of myself with filming, and also up my frequency. I couldn't think of the word there. I had been doing, obviously when I started the year in January, I did a video every day for January, and that really got me in the zone of filming. But I was doing some content that was just for the sake of it. It was just quicker content rather than being, you know, it was quantity over quality in a way. Some of them, I really like a lot of them as well, but some of them I feel like could be better. So, but it was great in that it really got me in the zone of filming. I think that what happened after that is that like I kind of wore myself out, and I like took a break and then getting back into the swing of things, and it goes up and down. So recently I've been consistent with putting out 1 video on a Thursday, and I think that's been a nice easy amount, just 1 a week, but being consistent about it every Thursday at 6 o'clock. But now I think I'm ready to up it to 2, and I'm planning to do it on a Monday and a Thursday. So I'm super busy with freelance at the moment because it's also Debs season as well as being bridal season. So Debs runs through the week, and then you still have your normal weddings and people going to weddings on the weekends. And then in where I can, I'm trying to fit in some filming so that I can hopefully get filming for Halloween as soon as I can. So yeah, but it's crazy that it's September already and we're thinking about Halloween in October. The year has just absolutely flown by. I've had a good summer though. Well, I've had a good year really, but I was glad we got away on holiday. If you're not new to my channel, you might have known that already, that we did get away to the sun, to Lanzarote for 10 days. That was lovely. I just love the sun and I love Lanzarote. So that really made the summer. Got to go to a few Cork matches. Unfortunately didn't make it to the Inglot Ireland this year, but maybe next year. We went to see Brendan Schaub. This might not mean anything to any of you, but if you're into like UFC, you might know who Brendan Schaub is. The Fighter and the Kid is his podcast with Brian Callen. It's a podcast that goes up on YouTube and iTunes. So it was my boyfriend who got into them first, and then I started watching them, and actually I'm wearing one of their merchandise and one of their merch t-shirts. We got to go to see Brendan Schaub live, who is an ex-UFC fighter, MMA, fighter, but he also does comedy. So I really didn't know what to expect. And anytime anyone was asking us like, what kind of show are you going to, because we were going up to Dublin for it, and I'd say, oh, what show is it? And it just sounded so strange to say, well, he's an ex-UFC fighter, but he also does comedy, but it's also about fighting, and I don't really know, but I'm looking forward to it. So I really didn't know what to expect, but it was really, really good. Basically, the first hour was his stand-ups part of the show, but it was his story from wanting to be a fighter when he was young, all the way through becoming a fighter, his career, to how he got to doing comedy and doing his podcast and stuff. And it was really funny. I really, really enjoyed it. And then the second half was kind of like what he does on his podcast, which is chatting about some fighting stuff and chatting about some current events stuff. And then he ends it with taking questions from the audience. So it was really well-rounded, really funny. And we had tickets for like the VIP tickets where you can meet him afterwards. So we got to meet him afterwards, chatting for a few minutes and get a picture. So that was really cool. And it was just another nice little experience in the summer. So yeah. And speaking of UFC or fighting, then there was the Mayweather-McGregor fight, because that was part of the show as well. He'd be talking about the Mayweather-McGregor fight that was coming up. I'm sure even if you're not into fighting, you will have heard about it. But yeah, myself and my boyfriend would be big McGregor fans, and we did get to meet him once. I did his girlfriend's makeup for an event in Cork, and they were both really lovely, and that was like a really cool thing to meet them at all. But also, you know, when they say never meet your idols or whatever it is, you know, when you meet celebrities and stuff and they're not how you want them to be or not how you hope them to be or think they were just so normal and so lovely. And so we were big fans before that anyway, but then after that, it was like, we really were big fans. So yeah, we went to Christopher, my boyfriend's sister's house, and we stayed up for the fight. I think I fell asleep for about half an hour, but I did pretty well. We stayed up for the fight, and, you know, it was disappointing. Well, not even disappointing, because he did so well and, you know, everyone's so proud of him. But obviously the result didn't go the way we had hoped for, but it was just a really cool event to watch, kind of a once in a lifetime, if that, event. But anyway, I'm sure most of you aren't really into fighting. It's kind of a niche audience, really. But that's, if you are, that's basically what I use Twitter for, is like fighting stuff and makeup stuff. So if you are, you can follow me on Twitter. What else can I talk about? I've gotten really back into the beauty side of YouTube, like watching YouTube, because I've always been a YouTube viewer for years, since 2008, 2009. But I kind of go in phases with the kind of content that I'm into. And I think after I came back from holidays and I had a real break away from everything, and like a break away from social media and stuff, I just really missed consuming beauty. So I really got back into watching beauty, because before that I'd been into a real phase of just watching like vlogs and non-beauty stuff. Sometimes you can kind of watch things and it becomes overkill. But yeah, I'm really loving watching just product reviews and testing new products and makeup first impressions and foundation reviews. I'm loving watching the Taylor, and her 15 days of foundations is coming up. I'm not sure what day I'm posting this, so it might have actually started by the day I post this. So if you like foundation reviews and like foundation wear tests that check in throughout the day, you need to go watch the Taylor. And she does a series, 15 days of foundation, where she does one of those reviews every single day for 15 days. So she has a new one of those series starting soon. Maybe it's today. I need to go check that. So yeah, apart from my Halloween videos, I have, you know, more foundation wear test reviews planned to do. But obviously Halloween is going to kind of take up October, and this month I'm hoping to get out those makeup wish list videos that I was talking about in my last brush cleaning chats, where basically it's not a haul, it's not an anti-haul, it's somewhere between. It's talking about the products that you will buy. It was just a thought. I'm sure it's been done, but it was just a thought, because, you know, I love watching hauls and I love people talking about new products and products that they just got and that they're trying and stuff. And at the moment I've other responsibilities and other things to be spending my money on, even though I have a big huge list of makeup that I want. And for so long I was thinking like, oh, I can't wait until I buy that makeup and I can do videos on them. But it just occurred to me that I could do videos about my makeup wish list and what's on it and why. So I want to get those out. I'll try and maybe like just film them as, I think I'm breaking it down into 5 categories. So I'm going to try and maybe film them all in one go, and then I can like edit them and get them out over the month, as well as other videos too. And I'm looking forward to filming like a sit down proper over there video with lights and stuff, because I sat down with my camera today and a YouTube video talking about the Canon settings, because it was something that I never really played around with too much. A little bit, you know, I did a little bit of research when I first got the camera about kind of what was what, but I never actually played with it and set it up for certain settings. I just use it on automatic. But after hearing enough people saying, enough YouTubers, because I like to watch videos about YouTubers filming setups and stuff and the gear they use and what they use and all that kind of thing, loads of people would recommend the Canon 70D, and that's what I have. But most of them would say, but don't use it on the auto settings, like set up your settings properly. But then I hardly ever heard anyone talking about what settings to use or anything like that, so I just like googled a video about setting up Canon for good filming. So it gave me kind of a base to start from anyway, and I can fiddle with it as I go. Sometimes it does come out, it is frustrating, like things change as you're filming, so sometimes lighting will change. Even though my lighting stays the same physically, the camera will pick it up differently because it's on auto. It like changes as you go. So even though it's the same camera, same lights and everything, I'm excited to see if I can make little adjustments here and there with the quality. And what else? I've also planned blog posts, because as always I just want to post more on my blog, but I'm just not doing it, because I always put a blog post with every video so that I can put like extra pictures and the product information and links and everything on the blog post. So I always do one with every video, but I want to do just blog posts that are just exclusive to the blog, because I'm sure, again, I've said this before, but I just really enjoy writing. It just comes easy to me. I find that's my best way of communication. But for some reason I'm just not using it, even though I have a blog. So I'm setting myself the goal of just doing like little small blog posts to start, just like on one product. So like this morning when I was getting ready, I said I'm going to try some products that I haven't used before, that I've had just sitting around waiting for me to try or take pictures of or put in a blog post. So I used a primer, a cream eyeshadow that I was using as a highlight, a brow gel, and a cheek and lip cream. I have a different lip on at the moment. I just put on a lip gloss before I sat down to film. Basically, just as I was getting ready, I took a picture of before, and then I'd apply a product and take a picture after and just like play with it. So that gave me a few products that I can just put out little blog posts on with some pictures of the products, just like little mini first impressions. So hopefully that'll just get me again into the swing of posting. It's all with good intentions anyway. We'll see what happens. And I would like to redesign my blog. I'm just not totally happy with the design of it. I'll see if I can change that. Anyway, I feel like I really need to sit down with products and just play with them more. Because I have a bunch of products that I just don't use, or I don't feel comfortable enough to just apply them. I need to like actually play with them and see what they're like. Especially with my kit products, because I find myself kind of reaching for the same stuff when I have a bunch of other products that aren't being used. Oh, my neck and shoulders are so bad recently. I want to get one of those. Oh no, I have one of those posture like little brace things, but I want to get a better one. My mum actually got one for me because she's the same as me. We both have really bad posture and just like bad backs and stuff. So my shoulders just naturally, well, you can't see because it's black, they just naturally round forward, and that's just where my shoulders sit, even though they should be back. So I'm constantly trying to push them back. But you can get little braces that you just like wear around the front of your shoulders, and then it ties at the back, so it just pulls them back. But my mum, she got me kind of a cheaper one, just like for me to like try out. And I like the fact that it pulls me back, but I just find it's too tight, like around my arm. But I saw Vasseur Beauty, I think that's how you say her name, Vasseur? Yeah, Vasseur Beauty. She mentioned one that she has and that she had tried a bunch of them, and like this was the best one off Amazon, so I want to get that one. I love her channel. That's like a channel that I like for non-beauty stuff. She does a bunch on like housework and organising. That sounds so weird, but like her routines for like quick cleans and deep cleans and on decluttering things, and it's just really sad. Even if I don't put it all to use, it's really satisfying to watch. It's those kinds of videos that gets me in the mood to like clean or feel productive. And like even her video aesthetic is like really bright and fresh and clean, because I feel like that definitely makes a difference in how a video makes you feel, how it looks. You know, I watch some vloggers that I think it's either their camera or their settings or it's their actual environment that looks like really bright and fresh and clean. And I don't know, it just makes me feel good. And then some vloggers I watch and I think maybe their home is darker or their camera doesn't show much light, and it just feels a little bit more, not gloomy, but it doesn't make me feel like getting up and doing anything. It makes me feel kind of lazier. Does that make any sense? That sounds really weird that I said out loud. But I guess it depends on your relationship with light, because I know there are some people who prefer it when it's dark, and some people who prefer it when it's light, and some people are very sensitive to those things. And I think I'm one of those people. What do they call it? SAD? SAD? Something disorder? I don't know. Where you're like, when it goes darker in the seasons, when the weather gets darker, or the light. When it gets darker outside at the end of the year, that some people get really affected by it and get really, really down. And I think I'm verging on that. I don't think I drastically change with the weather, and Christmas is my favourite time of the year, so I certainly look forward to that when it gets to that time of year. But I do feel like sunshine and stuff makes a huge difference. I know it makes most people like more happier and upbeat and stuff, but I feel it makes a huge difference to my whole mindset. So I do feel like I'm one of those people who's a little bit more affected by light and dark and your mood and that. Oh yeah, I really need to book into a chiropractor or something, because I just feel messed up at the moment. Do you ever just feel like your back is just messed up? My neck even, I feel like it's not... I have to keep putting my head back to like stretch it out. I'm just like, I'm an old person on the inside anyway. My bones are always creaking, and I don't drink enough calcium. I don't have much dairy at all, so I don't get enough calcium into me. I should be taking supplements, but I'm not. Another thing to do. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there on that note of being an elderly person on the inside, because I'm going to need to start getting freshened up to go to dinner soon. Looking forward to seeing my family and seeing my sister. She started a new school for the day, so I'm excited to talk to her. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. That just lets me know that you like this kind of video and lets me know to make more. If you have any comments, questions or requests, just leave them down in the comments down below, and I'll see them and I'll try to reply. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do if you want to see more videos from me. Just hit that subscribe button, and if you want notifications about getting my videos, you can hit the bell button. That's again if you want to, because YouTube sometimes doesn't tell you when a video goes up. Alright guys, that's it from me for today. Thanks again, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.